The concept of ego is often people will get caught up and say, oh, I don't have an ego, I'm not being an egotistical person. We get caught up because we often think that ego is the same as the egotistical person, and it's not. Our ego is not who we really are. And it's that social image, it's that self-image thing. And so it's like this social mask that we have. We put on the mask and it's a role. All it is it's a role that we play. What happens is in here our ego will go, okay, hang. If I play that role, then those people will think I'm cool, and then they'll accept me, and then they'll approve me, and that'll rock. And that's where our ego comes from, is it wants to be accepted, and it wants to be approved of, and it wants to be liked. If you say any of the following to yourself, or think any of these to yourself, it's ego. I do it too, all right? I am in so much more control of my ego than I ever used to be. It used to run rampant. It was not pretty, all right? If you say to yourself, well, I don't need to learn anything anymore. I don't need to change why I do things. Why should I change? It's all okay, but everything's fine. I don't need to change. Why do I need to learn anymore? Sound familiar? Do you? Also, I have to make sure I know all of this stuff, or I need to come across as knowing about all of this. Is there any time, that moment where you're speaking and it sounds false, or it feels false, or it's just not aligning? Again, it's our ego that's coming through. So if you find yourself saying any of those kind of things, or hear yourself saying it or thinking it, it's your ego. Ego is the superficial BS that sits out there, wanting everything to be fine, wanting everything to be happy, and it's all lovely, which is bollocks. The other thing is the ego, wham bam, likes a good argument, likes a good fight. When someone's talking to you or saying something to you, and it goes wham bam and pushes a button and it gets in there, and you're like, how dare you say that about me? And then you get all uptight and you want to have an argument, or you're always looking for that gap to start a fight or to start an argument. It's your ego. You always have to be right. You're always going to argue about something. When someone says something that cuts deep, or it's in there, or it pushes your button, you want to bite back. The flip side of that is when you're like, wait, their response, none of my business. Whatever they think or say about me, it's none of my business. It's not my intention. It's come from a place of compassion. Come from a place of love. Because their response to it, you can't control that. Just let it go. And yes, it's easier said than done, because what you need to be at that time is consciously aware, because if your ego is there and it's not under control, that sucker is going to want to come out and have a fight. We hold on to all these labels. We hold on all to this judgment, this feedback that says, this is who I am, this is who I be. So if I have that label, this is what I have to say. This is how I have to act. This is the person that I need to be when I do that. It's not. Who do you be? Who do you truly be? Deep down in here, who is that person? That is not your ego. When we remove ourselves and step back and be that observer that is looking through to who we truly are, allow yourself to be that observer out there, not this mask, because the mask is false. I really want to make sure that you understand this point of ego is not the same as the egotistical person. We all have an ego, and when we're able to control the ego, put it in our back pocket, pull it out when we need to, it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a thing that protects us, it keeps us safe. We have to only use it as a conscious awareness thing, okay? So it's kind of like a technique that we get to use.